Hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus on behalf of Arcadia Economics here with you on Monday, October 2nd. Today's video, a quick update about Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies. Obviously, it's been a volatile ride the entire year, in particular the past couple months. Cryptos have been rallying about a month or so ago when Bitcoin, I think it almost touched 5,000, got really close. And then most of the cryptos traded a bit lower. Primarily, the two main events were A, that the Chinese government was cracking down on some of the exchanges, and then B, that JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon said that basically cryptos are a Ponzi scheme and he would fire anyone that is trading cryptos in his shop. Which, the second part, we won't get into too much. That seems a little silly because I believe there actually is a Bitcoin division in JP Morgan. So, now with that said, bankers say a lot of things that I don't always necessarily find genuine. So, wouldn't read too much into that. But to the degree that people react to some of these things, those seem to be the two primary factors. And now at this point, a couple weeks later, having investigated a bit more, my personal feeling is that I don't think that the governments really have the ability to necessarily shut these things down completely. Especially there are groups and companies that their whole purpose are to facilitate a decentralization of the trading. So whether it goes to Hong Kong or outside somewhere of the Chinese mainland, I think we're past the point where this is something, it's kind of like when you think about prohibition. People still wanted to drink liquor, so they found a way to do it. Certainly governments can make this harder, but personally I don't get the feeling that it's something that long term would be able to be successful. And what's interesting to note is, especially in the past week and a half, you've seen the cryptos trading higher again. Let's take a quick look at today's price. Bitcoin was around 4,400 bucks, 43.89. Ethereum right around $300. So yes, they did trade lower, yet here it is, pretty much back at the same levels before those two stories came out. So really, on one other quick note before we go any further, while Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan calls it a big Ponzi scheme that's backed by nothing, to which I might add is at least the dollar is backed by nothing. All these paper currencies are backed by nothing. At the very least, Bitcoin, you can't create and print more. There's a finite supply. So, but what's interesting, a big story today, was that Goldman Sachs, let me pull up this headline for you. Goldman Sachs explores Bitcoin trading operation. So maybe Jamie Dimon thinks Goldman and the folks over there are morons too. Who knows yet? Now, here are two of the most prominent large banks in the U.S., in the world, and despite what Jamie Dimon says, there's Goldman saying they're thinking about opening a division. So before you take Dimon's comments to the bank, I guess that was a terrible pun there, not intended, but again, Jess, there's other perspectives here worth considering. And perhaps the simplest way I would put it, I still do own some cryptos. I think there are going to be a lot of cryptos that are going to be like the junky internet companies that didn't have true value and don't survive. And I think that's going to be similar here, but there are also going to be a lot of good ones that do provide value, do provide utility, even aside from the currency aspect. Although specifically to the ones that are serving as currencies, my school of thought is that if you buy into the argument that the U.S. financial system is somehow unsustainable and you think there's pressure on the dollar, certainly I'd rather hold cryptos than dollars at this point. So let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. A lot of different views out there, although thinking about what are the steps of really how to put it in perspective. Hopefully this gives you a few ideas today. With that said, thanks as always for watching, and we will see you again tomorrow.